بقول لك اهلا شربيلوبس. هلا وقت تيجي يا مان نعمل لنا حبة الملفوفية يعني.
احمد يوم رايح بدك تاكل اكل صحي. شايف هيدا صحن السلطه كل يوم هيك من هلا لتسافر على دبي.
ليك مان شو عم تعمل خي اكل؟
Yes, you can. Can we get one 10 pieces of chicken nuggets sandwich?
Today's piece is a little bit different than what you're used to on this channel. I wanted to take this moment to really share with you how COVID fundamentally changed my life and how important it was for me to actually have documented different moments and different experiences that maybe unintentionally I have done so, but I really wish and think you guys should be doing the same. This whole idea came when I was just lying on my couch 2 days ago, and I just happened to be scrolling through my old photos on my iPhone, and I landed on a month where I had spent in California, and I landed on certain photos that I've taken back then. There were 2 or 3 photos that stood out for me really, and all of a sudden I see myself being transported into this memory lane of feelings and memories and moments and experiences, all triggered by these 2 or 3 photos that I saw. And I realized how important it was for me to have documented these moments back then. I mean, these days I could safely say were probably the best days of my life. What I want to share with you today is, you know, this small little experience just made me realize how glad I am that I have kept these sacred memories, even in dull photos and even in 10-second videos that maybe back then did not make sense at all, but looking at them today, they hold so much value. So I want to share with you a story. Back in July of 2015, I got a job offer that required me to travel around 60% of my time to California and mainly to Silicon Valley. And it was me and my team, and we used to travel for a month each time and around 3 or 4 times a year. And we actually used to look forward for this trip. I mean, first of all, it's California, right? Like, who would say no to being in California, one of the best places on earth, and amazing lands and hikes and people and you name it. But also, it was an opportunity for us to put our lives on pause, put our responsibilities and problems and commitments and everything used to be on pause for a month. We used to go there, work, spend some good time together, and then come back. So we all used to travel to this same hotel, and it's the crappiest hotel you could ever be in. Like, you would never put a dime in this hotel room. It was dirty, messy. Every time we used to check in, you used to find chocolate on the floor and like some dirty laundry that someone else left. But we really used to like it because, first of all, it was furnished apartments and not hotels. So we used to have a kitchen. But at the same time, we used to take our rooms next to each other. So when we used to finish work, we all used to like call up each other and decide on whether to really go out, have dinner.
يلا
ايه شو بحط؟
يلا بلش يا احمد، بلش بروكلي اذا بدك.
بروكولي منيح، ما بنصح يعني
ما
عليه.
بتنصح بروكلي بيقطع لك جسمك دغري.
Or just meet in someone's room to cook, or maybe order a pizza one night and one night go to a fancy restaurant and have some nice food and drinks. Or, you know, we used to look forward for the weekends, especially planning weekends together. We either used to go on hikes or road trips, or drive down to San Francisco, one of the loveliest cities ever, and binge eat and drink and get drunk and during the day and just walk around and enjoy the Californian sun.
Blue bottle coffee. Hey, Ahmed. Ahmed.
Ahmed ولا Ahmed?
Ahmed. It depends on who's calling. Guys, I think it's wrong where I am.
I mean, you could tell from the way I'm talking to you that I could safely say that these travels, though they were for work, they were some of the best days of my life. So here's what I'm trying to get to in this story. Now that COVID hit, all of this stopped. And if you had asked me back then, would you think that these days would stop? I would say definitely not. I used to take these days for granted. I used to think that as long as we are all working together and there's work to be done, I was gonna be traveling to California with the same team, doing the same work and enjoying the same time and doing the same activities and having these blasts and amazing moments. And who would have thought that COVID happened? Like, who would have ever think that there was COVID? And once it hit, it put an end to all of this. And the days that I took for granted suddenly ended, disappeared. Looking back, the only thing that I have left of these days are these snaps and photos and 5-second videos that I probably back then felt that they were useless photos that were just gonna pile up on top of the other digital photos that I have, and they were taken with no intention whatsoever. Looking back at those now, these pictures hold a lot of value in them. Like, they hold nostalgia. And sometimes taking some of these like photos in the moment, feel that it's a stupid photo and probably the colors are not that good, or you take a video that is very short and probably meaningless at the moment. But then when you come back, you realize sometimes this photo or video might come up again somehow, somewhere, and it will remind you of different stages of your life and different activities and remind you of people and feelings and happiness.
C'est Big Mac.
Roland, je te dis comment tu... أول ما توقف على الإشارة, tu prends à droite.
Moi, Baba. Oui.
And that is the power of a photo for me personally, or the power of a video. And this is the power of documenting stuff in your life. And this is what I'm trying to say. You could document your life in any way or form you feel. And even though at the moment it might feel dull to do it, but be it in a photo, in a video, drawing, doodle, or just a menu that you pick up and you put it inside a book that you're reading, anything that you take from that moment and then bring it with you back to the future is valuable. Trust me on this one. My advice is, don't make it a burden to document your life. Don't make it a task. But whenever you have this moment, just grab to your pocket, reach out, take your phone, grab a snap, take a video, doodle, take a note, journal. It does not matter how the picture looks like. It could be the crappiest photo ever. Don't worry about it, because the beauty in them is in their imperfections. It's my bedtime now. Have a good night.